So I'm watching the Love is Blind reunion, and Chris's reactions and the way he answers questions got me really confused because he seemed like a completely different person than he was on the show. For those of you that don't remember, this was him on the show.
Yeah, I've been with girls who don't work out, but they're also like 5'11" and they're taller than me.
Stop the cap.
Your dad's a legit man, somebody who you're going to introduce him to be like, hey, this is my Charles Schwab account.
But like, you were friends with like a lot of loser dudes?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Can I ask you a crazy question? Can you be honest with your wedding ring on?
Like what?
Are you like attracted to me? I would take you. The Four Seasons. That's maybe luxurious to normal people.
Yeah. Room service in the rose for Mr. Fusco.
Baby, stop. Stop. We'd have a good time.
You think you're gonna get another hot doctor? I'm just saying.
Got him.
When this aired, women called him a Christmas elf without the joy. They were actually short shaming him, which I'm not a fan of, to be honest. But he deserved the backlash. He was acting like a fool. He tried to steal a girl on national TV. One who's engaged to his best friend on the show. But then you see him on the reunion, his reactions are not the same. And then I couldn't understand it until I came across this Reddit thread called Chris Had Media Training. And I was like, whoa, media training? What is that? And I did some research, and apparently media training is training for CEOs, celebrities, executives on how to answer questions and frame the perception of them so they don't get into a gotcha moment with an interviewer. Now, media training is not inherently good or bad. During the cancel culture movement, a lot of male executives would have every meeting with another female staff just observing so they don't get sued. And they were also media trained on how to answer questions so they don't get canceled. If you remember that era, even Tony Robbins, they tried to cancel him as well. So in that case, media training helped male executives avoid getting canceled. Now, Chris is not a celebrity, but here's how I'm like 90% sure he had media training. And I'll break this down by watching the clips of him and also using my authentic attraction method. So the first thing you'll notice about Chris is that he looks completely different. And this is actually deliberate. This is not by chance. It's a similar strategy to someone else showing up in the courtroom, looking innocent to the jury. Fixing your image and your style conveys a different emotion to the people that are watching you. You notice Chris's new hairstyle. I think he may have gotten like a chin implant or something. His face looks like a little red, which signals maybe he's had some facial or face surgery, or maybe even some laser treatments on his face. So the person on the Reddit thread made a really good point. They said it's methodical and done to ensure any footage of him replayed over the next few years is automatically vintaged. In other words, this is the historical me. I'm the new person. I'm not even that guy. You can't even recognize me in this new image, okay? The next thing he did really well here was that he had a strategy going into the reunion, right? A lot of people practice and rehearse their answers because they don't want to look bad in front of millions of people all over the world. And Chris had a great strategy from his media training coach. And the strategy is this. It doesn't matter what you say because the world has already cast judgment on you, right? Anything he says is going to get clipped into a meme or made fun of. People are going to call him a Christmas elf again. There's nothing he could really say to win over the crowd because we've seen his actions. So if he defends himself, like Alex did, if he gets sensitive or if he even exhibits facial expressions where he's hurt or defensive, people are just going to make him look worse. So his whole strategy going in is to actually apologize, give you a little bit of what you need, but not completely giving you so much material that you can fire it back at him. And this leads to what I observed as a limited, truthful facial expression, but it's still rehearsed and fake. So he's giving you a little bit of what you need. It's like you're eating, but you're not full. It's like, yeah, it's good, but I don't feel fulfilled, okay? This applies to the audience of us watching and the people that he's talking to. It feels like, is this guy for real? I can't tell. And you don't quite feel completely fulfilled because he's not giving you those full emotions, okay? Let's watch the clip and I'll break it down for you.
Jordan is a good guy. I don't think he is one of those guys that's like a Chris. You know what I mean? Like
You can see he's mastered this expressionless face. He doesn't laugh at anything. He's not sad at anything. His emotions are measured. Most people react like 100%. That was funny. I'm angry or I'm hurtful. He's acting at about 20% and acknowledging them, but not really giving them anything else.
There are just two guys. Like, you're the type of guy that I'm talking about, that why I have hated men. It's just like, God, and I'm not trying to pick on you again, Chris. I do still hate you, but
So everyone else was laughing. You can see here he has this very, very mild smile. Almost like a mannequin, right? Not giving her much. And you see how his eyes are looking away? So he's been trained, like, look away. Don't answer that questions directly. Look away. Acknowledge when you've been wrong. Apologize. And just don't react. Okay, almost feels disconnected, right? It feels like he's part of the show, but not really. But you can't fault him for it because he's actually answering your questions or he's actually going along with what you're saying. He's not pushing back. He's not giving you any fuel to continue to attack him, okay? It's actually quite well done. Whoever trained him did a really good job.
you just suck.
You see that little blink here? He looked at her while she was talking and then he looked away. Okay, this is media training right here. I acknowledge you when you're talking, but then I look away and I disassociate from what you're trying to do, which is attacking me.
But you're not like a Chris, you know what I mean?
See, he did that again. He looked at her and he looked away. This is, he's been practicing this for a year now.
You're not an overall douchebag. So there's not.
He did it again here. He looked down. He didn't look at her directly this time, and then he looked away again, okay? Who does this? No normal person does this, okay? No normal person would look at Amber and, like, give an expression like, come on, girl, like, really? Or they'll laugh about it, like, yeah, I was kind of a douche. But he's doing this thing which is so calculated. It looks really weird. It goes over your head if you don't pay attention carefully, okay? It's super strange.
That element of it, you know?
He did it again. He keeps doing it, looking down and looking away. Here he gives her a light smile, very light smile, just barely acknowledging her, but it's like expressionless.
Like, I thought it was about him and Jess, honestly. So I was like, wow, she's being really.
He's looking at Connor because Connor was actually one of his friends, and he's giving them eye contact. But you can see here he's mastered this like neutral lip where under his nose nothing moves, or if it moves, it's very low emotions being shown. Okay.
Because me and Chris were like best buddies in the pods, honestly. Like, we were in the back of the bus riding to the hotel together. We were working out in the morning. Didn't think I'd ever get to that, go that far. I was in shock.
Expressionless, okay? It's actually quite hard to be completely expressionless when someone's attacking you like this, okay? This required training.
Like, we all dated each other, so I was like, I'll give him, like, you give people some grace. So you're like, all right, I get why he might, like, want to.
One of the tricks I tell my clients, and by the way, I'm not advocating for anyone to be like Chris. I'm saying when someone's attacking you, right, just in that situation, something you can do is you can almost like imagine you're a third person, like you float out of your body and you're a third person watching these two people have a communication. And as that third person, you're neutral and you're looking at this and you can see things more clearly from a different angle. And Chris kind of floated out of his body right now and just looking expressionless. It's almost like Connor's not even talking about him. Another thing that the Reddit thread mentioned that I noticed he did really well is do not fill the void. How to answer questions without taking accountability. He's not fighting back. He's not interrupting them. He's letting them say their piece. When other people are fighting, he stays out of it. He's literally just sitting there silent. The only time he answers is when the host asks him a question or when a cast member is talking to him directly and asking him a question. Rehearse these answers and do not deviate from them. And they sound sincere and he delivers them sincerely, but he doesn't go into detail. He doesn't give him ammunition to attack him with the details. Do not smile, do not engage. When called out or piled on, simply apologize.
First of all, like, undercutting your buddy that in confidence tells you stuff to try and get the girl, I don't think has ever worked in history. And then to do it on national TV and to be a dick about it, I was like, man, that's kind of crazy.
Left unsaid that you'd like to say to Chris?
Nah, I got nothing.
Man, if someone said that to me, even if I was in the wrong, I would have some type of emotion. But this guy is emotionless. He just lightly smiles and goes back to his neutral facial expression. That's crazy. That's not natural, okay? Agree if asked that you're going to try and do better. Do not elaborate, okay? This achieves a few things. I'm reading the Reddit thread here. The first thing is there's no winning people over. It ensures that he doesn't make things any worse than they already are for his image, right? And one of the things that he does really well here is that it's kind of like you're a ghost. Yeah? Imagine when someone's attacking you and you're blocking. There's a lot of damage. But imagine if you were transparent, you were a ghost, and everything they throw at you just goes through you. There's no resistance, so they can't hit on anything. There's no satisfaction for the person that's attacking. So he's a ghost right now. He's transparent. He's not even there. Okay, it just goes through him. And he's not reacting to anything. And he's not giving you any satisfaction at all. And it's quite annoying to watch, and almost like people don't get that sick drama. And so then they just forget about him and just move on to the next drama. And then they go on to the next couple. So he's avoiding all of the negative attacks by doing this, okay? Now, do I think it's right? No, I think he should be accountable for what he did. You know, this is a good strategy to avoid accountability, or at least to make people forget about your bad behaviors. Could he have improved in last year and actually become a better person? Yes, but if he did that, I would prefer if you went on the show and actually said, hey, here's what I've been working on for the last year. I'm really sorry, I was wrong. That would have been a better thing to do. That would have been what I would have done if I ever behaved like he did, which I never did. But he's not doing that. He's choosing to a little bit gaslight the audience and the cast.
Tail between the legs and run away. And I want to.
So he just holds this expressionless face, even when Bree is talking.
And then to turn around, go over to him and bro it up like nothing ever happened. I'm just not sure what it says about you.
So even Nick Lachey, the host, is getting annoyed, and he's like, yo, you messed up. And he lays into him. And we still get nothing from Chris.
That's probably for you and a therapist to figure out, but I promise you it's not good.
The audience is clapping, against him. So the whole world is against him. He knows this.
Is there anything you could say to Connor directly in this moment? Man to man?
Now, here's the rehearsed speech. Notice how he's also wearing all black, right? It's almost he's like camouflage. You can't see him. It's almost like he's at a funeral.
Ohio boy to Ohio boy?
Yeah.
Ohio boy to Ohio boy. Nick is like, let's get real. Let's get some, rawness. Have a real conversation. And he does this. He gives them just enough of what they need to feel a little bit full, but people don't feel completely satisfied. Watch how he answers this question.
So do it. This is your time, man.
I'm sorry I disrespected you. I want to be accountable for what I did and what I said, and putting Bree in that situation as well, and was just way too maybe aggressive in that moment.
So he gives a great answer. He's like, everything is my fault. It's not even Bree's fault. Don't hold her to it. It was me being too aggressive. Now, the content of what he's saying is really good. The expression in which he says it is actually pretty good too, because you can see like he almost looks like he's deeply regretful. But the words sound a little bit too rehearsed.
And I'm sorry. And I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just want you guys to know, like, I'm truly sorry. The way I acted during this experiment.
Nobody else said anything, because when someone behaves a certain way for such a long time and they cross so many lines, it's hard to believe what they say anymore. So they don't give him a response, right? And they kind of sense instinctively, like, this is not the same person that I know. It almost feels like it's a different person talking. So they don't respond. They don't say, thank you, I accept your apology. They're just like nodding, and the show just moves on. Okay, there's a little bit of insincerity there. It's like, yes, I hear you. I think I believe you. I want to believe you, but instinctually something's off.
I mean, it's really difficult. I mean, you're in this moment where you have this just amazing connection. We just saw each other and we're in Mexico. I didn't want to put like negative thoughts in my head.
His words are so concise, right? That it's media training, because usually the way a person answers that question is, thinking back, I was this and that. They have more filler words, and they're trying to think about it. When he's thinking, I think he's thinking about the script. Like, here's what I'm supposed to say. Let me pull that script. When he's looking to the up and to the right, he's trying to think about the script. Like, what did my coach tell me, my media trainer tell me to say? I think that's what's going on here. Jen doesn't.
Well,
believe
Jess,
him.
now that you've had time to
Jess doesn't believe him.
reflect,
I think that when somebody has deep insecurities, often the human reaction to that is to try to bring somebody else down.
Okay, so Jess is pretty cool. She's a straight shooter. So she says, after he came to my house and he saw how big my house was, and she's a doctor, she makes good money, and how established I was in my career. And we know from the other TikTok posts that Chris is like, maxed out 2 credit cards and in debt at that time a year ago. She said after that he ran away for like 2-3 days, and he came back all like, alpha and like really aggressive. She believes at the time that he was deeply insecure about her success. She knew him really well then. She spent every day with him. They were dating. I think her perspective was correct. But Chris denies all this. This is how you know it's media training. He just outright denies it.
Some deep insecurities, finances, not feeling stable.
That's a massive insecurity you think he had?
At that time, yes.
Okay, so the show is trying to basically make a point, which is this guy, is insecure about your financial success. And Chris has had media training, so now he knows how to answer this, right? And he's going to deny it without providing any more detail. So you cannot take it and attack him more. He just answers the question and he moves on. Watch how he does it. It's actually quite well done.
It seemed that you essentially disappeared after seeing her home and seeing how successful she was in her life and in her career. Did that make you insecure?
That had nothing to do with the decision I made.
Everyone's rolling their eyes from the cast because they know he's lying. And he says this, and he doesn't say why he left for 2-3 days after seeing her house. He doesn't give him any more information. He gives no other answer. He just says that wasn't it, and he just stops talking. Okay? It's actually quite well done. It's really frustrating as a viewer to watch because you want the answer and you want him to engage, but he doesn't. He doesn't give you anything.
Nothing at all. It didn't affect you? Were you in Devontae's nothing box, or where did you run for 2 days?
Catching strays.
So see, other people get brought into it, and he just stays neutral, dude. Devontae, poor Devontae.
Devontae's like, don't bring me into that right now.
I wasn't even driving the car.
So you think that's just the perception of everyone watching this show? That wasn't the truth in the moment?
The reason that Nick Lachey keeps asking questions is because Chris is so silent. And I think Chris got a little bit tipped off his balance when Nick made that Devontae joke, because it was kind of funny. And now Chris is actually, you can see him looking upward, like going to his brain, wait, what did my media trainer tell me to say to this question? And he's trying to recall the right answer.
It was not the truth.
So what was the truth?
The truth was I was emotionally immature, and I put physical chemistry over emotional connection.
Okay, that's totally rehearsed. And basically the media trainer is like, just when you don't know what to say, just say that. Just say that and just move on.
And you seem a little emotional now. What's coming up for you?
Vanessa is trying to get him to get to the truth, but he's not giving them the truth. He's giving them a little teaspoon and moving on, okay? You can't get to the truth with this guy, not with a media-trained answer and persona. Now, to be fair, he's doing a great job at it, I gotta say. You know when you talk to corporate and it's like, hey man, am I gonna get a vacation this year? And then they give you an HR answer. Oh, we're so happy that you're so happy working here. This company wants you to be happy. And every year you have 5 days of vacation and we appreciate you taking time off, right? It's like you're trying to speak real and they're giving you a corporate jargon answer. And some people do it in a way where you hate them. It's like, you're not even talking to me like a human being. What's this HR BS? But some people are so good at it, they seem so human, but their jargon, the things that they say are HR. So we call that handling somebody, right? When you're in corporate, it's like, I don't want to engage this person as a person to person because they're a little crazy, or maybe I want to protect my position. I'm going to use HR lingo to stonewall them. Chris is doing that here with media training. He's like, I'm going to give you a little bit of my emotions, but I'm stonewalling you from attacking me or getting to know my real feelings, okay? But my face, I'm going to act in a way where I at least seem believable and you actually feel like I'm telling the truth. And the things I'm saying are truthful. I'm taking accountability, but I'm not letting you see my real self. This is a mask that you're seeing right here.
Because I feel like the way I went about it, I should have done it way differently.
Again, he doesn't go into specifics. That's like so generic. You can say that about anything.
Are you?
And he just stays silent. He just stays silent. And Vanessa's, you can see they're unsatisfied. They're like, and Vanessa's, well, are you making steps? Are you becoming a better person? Like, what's going on, bro? Tell us more. Come on.
Making steps toward how you speak to people or how you want to become more emotionally mature? Or did you just watch it and you're like really wanting to save face?
Okay, Vanessa's the only person I kind of called them out on it. It's like, is all of this an act? Are you just trying to protect your reputation right now? Or are you actually changing for the better? That's a great question. And look at what Chris says.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm taking steps to be more emotionally mature.
Okay, so that's rehearsed. I'm taking steps to be emotionally mature. How? Are you going to therapy? Are you reading books on psychology? Are you dealing with your insecurities about finance? Have you settled your credit card debt? All of these are details he could have provided, but he just says, I'm taking steps to be less emotionally immature. That's when you know he's been media trained, because he's not giving you any details as to the steps that he's actually taken. Instead, the only thing that he chose to do was to get a media trainer and actually look better on TV, but we don't really know if he actually did the steps to become a better person, which is really frustrating to watch.
And I don't think it was obviously fully aware I was ready for that coming into this.
No shit. No kidding. And Jess is like laughing at him because she's like, obviously, like, it's so clear. It's come on, bro. It's like you're going to a restaurant to eat a steak and all you get is like a piece of lettuce, you know?
I'm sorry.
What do you want to say, Jess, to Chris right now?
Oh, nothing to Chris.
This is probably the moment where if you have anything you'd like to say to Jess, this is the time.
All right, so he knows this question is coming and he's rehearsed it.
I'm sorry the way I treated you, Jess. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there emotionally what you needed. I don't think I'll ever have an emotional
Okay, that moment right there, you would think that he's like trying to get to his heart and stuff. He's actually trying to remember the script.
connection like I had with you at the very beginning of everything when everything started. And
Now she does nod for the first time because that was important to her, right? That initial connection felt real. And he's thought about this and he's rehearsed it and he knew that that would hit. And that was the little piece of bread that he's giving them as a peace offering to say, stop bothering me, stop shaming me.
it's just tough to watch the way I treated you.
Now, does he actually mean what he says? I do think there's a part of him that actually believes what he's saying. But I wish he would have gone about this in a more organic and authentic way. Now, some of you might argue that if he did that, he would continually to be shamed and they wouldn't give him the grace. And I get that. But I think of all the reality shows, right? Nick and Vanessa Lachey, they're not perfect, but of all the reality shows on TV, this is the one show where if you actually showed progress, right, that there would be a little bit of grace. Not from all the audience members, but at least from the people in the cast. And you could have got your redemption that way. But instead, he chose to stonewall and use media training. And it's just unsatisfying, I think. And it's a little bit disappointing, you know, as someone who is in self-development. I wish he would have developed in a different way.
And I'm sorry.
Jess doesn't believe him. So watch what she says and reply. She just shuts him down completely in a nice way.
Thank you for apologizing. And more importantly, thank you for showing me who you were quickly.
She makes a good point, which is in dating, if someone has a red flag, it's better to know early on. You don't want them to hide those red flags because then you fall in love with them. Then you're like tangled into the situation. You're trying to get your heart out, right? So observe people for their real behavior, make a good assessment, and run away from red flags. He doesn't get caught into that human instinct to defend himself or to get drawn into drama. And then that becomes the next big thing that people talk about on the internet. They make memes about it. They call him a Christmas elf again. And it just goes through this whole media cycle. So in this way, he shuts down the media cycle. They stop talking about him. And it's done. He can move on with his life, right? By the end of the reunion, his presence was utterly forgettable. That's a good thing in the world of fixing negative PR. Okay? The commenter ends by saying, obviously, I think he's a bad man, but I just wanted to point out some obvious tells that he's paid a professional for damage control. Okay. Now, do I think Love is Blind shames men on their shows? Absolutely. I called them out on it in previous seasons in my previous videos. However, in this case, I think the call out is just holding someone accountable for their actions. I think the fact that he hired a media trainer, I get it, right? On one hand, because the audience can be so harsh and they can stalk you for years and just make fun of you for years, even though you've changed. On the other hand, I wish he would have stepped up and actually showed his real self, maybe with like half media training, but half real authenticity. And so he defends himself, he doesn't get into drama, but also he gives us a little bit more authenticity. Like, hey, I've been working on these things over the last year. I've seen a therapist. I've read books about why I was behaving that way. I fixed my finances. And I really appreciate the show for showing me those things, because without it, maybe I would have changed, but slower. But he didn't do that. He just kind of gaslit people, in my opinion, and kind of moved on, okay? Do I think he's a changed man? It's hard to tell. And that's the thing about inauthenticity. I don't know what he's thinking. And if I don't know what he's thinking, I can't trust him. And I don't trust the things that he says because we don't have an understanding of the truth. Yeah, we're not agreeing to play with each other by telling each other the truth. And so therefore, I don't trust him. okay? Don't be like this guy. Media training is important if you're a celebrity or an important person, but use it sparingly, similar to the HR director who uses corporate lingo to keep things under control, but he's still a human being. He knows that he needs to get rid of that crazy person who is disrupting the workplace and, swearing and like degrading his coworkers. He has to be professional in order to fire him. But at the same time, the HR director knows how to use corporate lingo, but also like talk to someone as a real human being. Okay? Media training, putting up a mask. It's a tool that we use to avoid crazy people, not to escape accountability. When I go out at nighttime, recently with a client, you saw my rejection video on my YouTube, I tell you I have a mask on at nighttime because there's some crazy people at nighttime that say some crazy mean things, and you just don't know who you're going to meet. But once I meet the right person, I take that mask off slowly and I show them who I really am, which is like I'm kind of a dorky, fun, chill guy. And they get to see that part of me, but I don't show them that right away because I know there's some crazy people at night, okay? So use media training, use a social mask when you need to, be professional enough at work where you don't get fired or people can't report you for shit if they're your enemies or they don't like you for some reason, but use it as a tool and realize that we're all human beings and have the ability to stop using that tool or taking the mask off when you realize that other person is trying to connect on a real level, okay? And one of the important things about social skills is to recognize when someone's willing to be real with you and at what level they're willing to be real with you at, right? It's like casual acquaintance level, close friend level, or like life partner level, okay? And to be able to recognize those signs. We teach you how to do that in our community. You can find an invite right now to join. It's at school.com/social skills, okay? If you want to improve your social skills, don't be like this guy, don't do damage control. Just come in correct from the beginning and have people like you and make friends and date the people that you want, okay? The link is right here. It's also in the YouTube description. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy. If you are a single guy looking to level up your dating life, you need to check out our new community on School, Social Skills Decoded. Inside, you will find exclusive weekly meetings where you can ask me anything, from rating your pictures, to going through your online profile, to styling advice, to analyzing your texts and breaking down exactly what you need to do to get that cute girl and break through your sticking points. Inside this group, you'll also get weekly mock dates with my female model friends, so you can practice talking to cute girls in a realistic way before taking your skills into the real world. You'll also get full access to my new master course, 30 Days to Dating Freedom, plus 4 mini courses you won't find anywhere else. And you'll get access to a community of ambitious, like-minded guys who are serious about achieving dating freedom. No negativity, no fluff, just results. You'll even be able to see our full community map and connect with the members in the group in real life. Several of our members have already had in real life meetings just from hitting people up in their city. If you've been watching my videos and thinking, I want to go deeper and I want accountability, this is where you need to be. Check out the link in the YouTube description or go to school.com/social skills and let's start transforming your dating life together.